welcome to another episode of the Lakeside View. Alongside my co-hosts Chris Bellato, Kim Strong, and Sabrina Carlo, we are back again. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Woo! I'm ready.
How you doing?
Okay.
Oh.
All right, well, let's get started with Senator Rand Paul and Chris Christie are just some of many top GOP officials who have raised doubts seeing Trump run for a 2020 re-election. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has come out and said that he will support Trump if he decides he wants to do a re-election. But Christie also said that 4 years is a long time in politics, and that might change how he feels about a re-election. Paul's and Christie's comments came after Special Counsel Robert Mueller filed his first indictments in his investigation into Russian attempts to interfere in the 2016 election. So, do you think Donald Trump will run for re-election in 2020?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Highly doubt it?
I think.
Not just doubt it.
Well,
You're high about it.
I think he would. I don't know.
All right,
well,
so we got.
I feel like he's.
So we got.
I
don't know. We got a no, and we got a yes,
It depends because
or vice versa.
Yeah,
You're
I-
yes,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
no.
I love how Chris Christie said it. He's like, 4 years in politics is a long time. So, especially for someone who's never been in it, this could be maybe he like breaks in the middle of it. He doesn't want to do it anymore because right now
Yeah.
he's on the high train. He wants to keep doing it, but
But I feel like he's
I
slowly
feel he's
melting.
slowly, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that he will want to do it because of just like the power and like just comes along with it. Maybe that's more important to him than the consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, I just get the feeling because he's already started. Well, not he. His campaign has already started fundraising for 2020. So, does
Did
that
he ever
necessarily
stop
mean he's going to run?
campaigning,
Of course
though?
not. What?
He never stopped campaigning. Even when he
No,
was,
yeah.
even when he was elected, he was campaigning.
Yeah,
So
no,
like
he's still
he never stopped.
still campaigning now. He does
Yeah.
a victory tour, because that's what all presidents do. They do victory tours when
For
they
a
win
year.
elections. Yeah, for a whole year, and continuing still now to this day. But no, my guess is if I had to put money on it, I'd say he runs again, because I just feel like he's going to get talked into it, especially if he does. If the tax plan goes through that he's trying to get through Congress right now, if he does improve immigration, and who knows what'll happen with the wall, but if that happens, Republicans will be happy that that got done. So it comes down to what happens legislatively, but my guess is he does run for re-election in 2020.
I also feel that he just might not want to do it. Like that's how I really feel. I feel like he won. He got what he wanted. He wanted to show everyone he can do something when everyone told him he had no chance. He won.
Yeah.
And at this point, I feel that he did all he had to do. And now he's in office. He's kind of seeing like maybe he doesn't want to do it, or this is not the job that he really thought was going to happen when he got into office. Because I don't know what he thought being the president had to do. Like I don't know. I feel like he just didn't know all the responsibilities the president had. But I feel that it's causing a lot of stress, and he just doesn't want it anymore. But we'll see
They
how.
always have those before and after pictures when people go through
Oh my
like
God.
office.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see
It's
his.
never.
Even
it's never
Obama,
good. No,
Obama
yeah,
looks
it's-
so good, and like
then he's
8
like-
years,
looks
just
awful.
completely different.
No, it's the
Yeah.
same thing with
Yeah.
Clinton.
Oh yeah.
Clinton looked like a train
It's
wreck when he
crazy.
got out. I mean, eight
It's
years.
stress.
No, and
It's
I
a
don't blame
lot.
them.
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
as a president, it's hell. That's just. But you highly doubt it.
I think. Well, yeah. Basically, piggybacking off of like what Chris did say, I think after like this term, he's just gonna be kind of done with it.
Yeah.
Like he made his point. He proved like he beat the odds. He proved that he could do it, and I think that was a big part of it.
But if not
But-
re-election, then what next?
It's a good question.
So 'cause
I
I
mean-
feel like he's always trying to outdo.
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing to do anymore. Like
Yeah, he's
unless
like-
he just becomes a prime minister in a different country. Like I don't think there's anything he can
don't know
possibly
if
do
that-
to top it. Like.
Prime Minister of Catalonia. What about it?
Why not?
They're going to have
Honestly,
independence.
What else can
go
he
over
do
there.
to top being the president of the
I
United
mean,
States?
I remember.
Yeah,
I
there's nothing
remember
to
there
do.
was theories, and there still are, that he wants his own television network.
I thought he was already doing that.
I think that's
that's
a
also a main
reasonable
reason why he's
possibility.
calling for the fake news. And
I was
everything.
going to say, he's still attacking CNN
Yeah.
on a daily basis. All right, well, we do have a Twitter poll. We asked this question: do you or would you vote for Donald Trump in 2020 if he did decide to run for re-election? Let's see what the results are here. A lot of no. I'm seeing a majority no, and then we have depends on the candidates is
That's very true.
second place, which is fair. I think I would vote that myself.
That's what I voted.
And then 14% said yes. So overall, not a lot of people excited for a potential second term for President Trump. But hey, that could change. We never know. Still have a long way to go in this presidency. This past Tuesday, there was a deadly terrorist attack in New York City. Saifullah Saipov allegedly drove a rented truck onto a well-trafficked bike path just blocks from the World Trade Center on Tuesday. 8 people were killed and more than a dozen were injured as the truck carved a path of destruction through several blocks of Lower Manhattan. Saipov crashed the truck into a school bus and left the vehicle pretending to use a firearm, but was shot by law enforcement. Officials have now been filed, charges have now been filed, accusing the driver in the Manhattan truck attack of carrying out a long-planned plot spurred by Islamic State propaganda videos.
It's the deadliest terror attack in New York City since 9/11, and it only took 4 minutes.
Be advised, we have multiple people on the ground from Chambers all the way up to Houston.
Investigators believe the suspect planned the attack for nearly a year. Neighbors say they saw him go on test drives.
We've been renting the same truck, the same model truck for the past 3 weeks.
Prosecutors say the suspect used the rented truck to go on a mile-long massacre before ramming into a school bus. Afterwards, eyewitness video shows the suspected terrorist on foot, brandishing what appeared to be guns before police shot him. At the scene, investigators found multiple knives and a note pledging allegiance to ISIS.
Gist of the note was that the Islamic State would endure forever.
This, as sources say, the married father of 3 was not on any terror watch list. Those who know him say they're shocked.
We didn't see characteristics of a terrorist in him. He was an aggressive young man with a romantic sense of adventure.
In a series of tweets, the president saying he would love to send the NYC terrorist to Guantanamo and that he should be executed.
Just terrible stuff. It never gets any better to just see just tragic stuff like that. Just what's everybody's just reaction to that?
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Especially because we live, near the city. We live on the island. And I know a lot of people who work in the city, who live in the city, a lot of friends and family. So it was just very heartbreaking to see. And, it's also very heartbreaking to see, obviously, politics play into it again. And everyone's trying to put their agenda. But it's people died. And at this point, we should stop putting politics into people's death. It really bothers
Politics
me.
and religion.
And religion, too. It really bothers me. And I don't know, it's just...
just putting that aside, you're killing innocent people. You ran into a school bus. It's just unforgivable.
Yeah, no, and we think about, I try to think about the victims, because to me, when we glorify the person that does these types of acts, to me, it's more important to think about the victims and who we lost.
And their families.
It was. I think it was 5 or 6 Argentinian people were visiting. It was like their 30th high school reunion.
Yeah.
And I think it was a mother from Belgium, and then I think it was someone who lived in the city, local man. But just again, like I said, it just never gets any better to have to talk about this stuff. It seems like it's at least every other day. It's just some terrible shooting, some terrible, terrorist attack, some just terrible thing that happens. And, and like you said too, Chris, the politics, and I think both sides are guilty of it.
Oh, 100%.
It's just every time there's something.
Same thing with Vegas, people play politics into both, as long as it goes with their agenda, they're going to put it, no matter who it affects, what happened, it's going to be played into every single part of our lives now, especially because everything is politics. Every single thing that you see is politics. So at this point in our lives, that's probably what we're going to have to deal with until maybe the next election cycle, maybe not. I don't know if this is going to stay forever, but that's the trend now, I guess. It's very sad.
It really is, and it's a real shame. Coming up, the Trump and his son-in-law may be having some conflict, and a magazine cover has predicted the future. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
And welcome back to the Lakeside View. According to a Vanity Fair article, President Trump is reportedly blaming White House advisor Jared Kushner for his role in decisions that led to the appointment of Robert Mueller as special counsel. The report states that in a call Tuesday to former White House chief strategist Stephen Bannon, Trump put blame on Kushner for the part he took in choices to fire former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and former FBI Director James Comey. So, who is to blame for all of the White House turmoil?
At this point, I feel like everyone.
Everyone.
It's not
Trump,
just one person.
Yeah, it's not just Trump, and we can't only just blame Trump, but at the same time, Trump has not taken responsibility for anything wrong in this administration. He keeps blaming other people. It's other people who, which it could possibly be, but he's the one who put these people in these positions. So he has to take some responsibility, and I have yet to see that from Trump. So yes, it's everyone's fault, but he has to also realize that it's also his fault. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I think definitely a big part of being a leader is kind of taking responsibility for not only your actions but your team's actions, since they're falling under your umbrella. So I think that's the one qualm I think. I think Donald Trump needs to kind of.
That's your word. You just will find any way to get that
Every
word
episode.
in every episode.
It's getting in there.
There's going to be a qualm.
It's an Easter egg.
It's an
Kim's qualms.
Kim's qualms. We'll make that a segment one day. But yeah, kind of piggybacking off of that idea. I think of it as an episode of The Apprentice. You know how they have like the project manager? Great show. I mean, you can say what you want about Trump as president.
That's how I knew about Trump.
No qualms with that show.
But no qualms with that show. That show was gold. Anyway, but no, I think of it as you have your project manager, in this case, President Trump. Then you have the team around him. The team, people on the team may make mistakes, and they may, deserve to be fired or removed or deserve a reprimand of some kind. But you have to at least partially direct some of the blame for any problems that happen back to, the head, the project manager, the guy in charge. And that's the same with if there's any type of success, any type of good things that come out of the administration, you have to direct at least some of that back to the president. Sure, Congress, may pass something, or sure, an advisor may, help out in some capacity, but it falls on Trump, good or bad. You can't have it where, oh, this is happening. This is all Trump. Thank God we have Trump because he's the only one that's making this happen.
He needs to share the credit.
Right? Yeah. Well,
as well.
No, and he has to get the blame as well, and that's the balance that unfortunately not a lot of people have. Some people are willing to give him all the blame, and some people are willing to give him all the credit, but not the other side.
And he himself has to understand that he can't have just one side. He has to take the bad with the good, not just one side.
Sure. Yeah. No, and will we ever get that from him? I doubt it. But I could be proven wrong. So we now turn our attention to the Astros, who have just won their first World Series, and Sports Illustrated issued a cover crowning the Houston Astros the 2017 World Series champions, except for the fact that the issue was written back in 2014. The issue is currently out of stock, but copies are being sold by individual sellers for prices reaching $355. First of all, would any of you ever buy a magazine for that much? Because I'm no.
Depends.
It does not depend.
Okay,
No,
if it was
if
a
it's
die,
like a very rare issue, or like because like there are Walking Dead limited edition magazines that have come out with just it's signed by people, and so like that I would probably pay a lot of money for. Maybe not $355, but like a lot of money. But I just want to say, Sports Illustrated is selling the same exact magazine for like $20. So I don't know why someone decided to put it on eBay and why anyone's interested in that, because you can literally get it for $20. So it's just like a scam.
If I was a diehard fan and there was no other way to get that limited edition, then I would pay the $355.
Yeah.
I understand it. There's a hype. It's the only World Series they have won.
Yeah,
but,
true. Very true.
But
like
personally, I would not buy it.
No, I obviously would not buy
Definitely not.
this magazine.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in any capacity, I don't think I would ever spend.
I just understand it.
If the Jets, let's say back in 2014, somebody said the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl in 2018, and they put it the same way they put it on the magazine cover. We get to 2018, Jets win the Super Bowl. That won't happen. But if it did happen, I would not spend I love the Jets. I would not spend $355 on that magazine. It would be very cool, and it would be cool to have, but I would not take $355 out of my bank account to make that transaction.
But what
That is just
happened
me.
if it was signed by all the players?
Well, then that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we're arguing purely the magazine, the paper
Okay.
by itself.
Yeah.
If it's signed by like Joe Namath, and then like Joe Namath passes away, God forbid, then yeah, that might be worth more money. I would probably put $355 into that. But just the magazine by itself, it just so happened. That's like owning a copy of Back to the Future because they predicted the Cubs won the World Series that year. So like, oh, we have to buy it now. I mean, I have a copy because it's a great movie.
I feel like we all have a copy.
No, but I'm saying I wouldn't buy it for that purpose. I would buy it because it's a great movie.
I would probably just watch it because I'd be like, did they really? And then I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, they did.
They were like, what, were they like 2
year
years off?
It was
Or a year?
off.
Yeah. They almost had it.
Yeah, they're very close. That's weird how close.
I mean, even
they
that's still an
Yeah, if they're
accomplishment
just
in
a
my
year
book.
off, no one ever thought that. So like
No.
the fact that they put that
Especially
in a movie,
back in the 80s.
and it was just a year off, that's crazy.
I mean, that's probably what it was. Like, nobody thought it. So, like, let's just throw it in. It's a fun little thing. What are the odds? And then, here we are.
And then it happened.
20, 25 years, 30 years later, here we are. All right, well, coming up, Wendy Williams passes out on live TV, and a judge gives an interesting punishment. Stay tuned. You're watching The Lakeside View. You go already?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back. Wendy Williams gave the audience a true scare on Halloween when, during her segment, she passed out. During the segment, she appeared very uneasy and actually scared and then ultimately fell onto the floor. Producers were seen rushing the stage briefly before the broadcast went to black, and then it was quickly cut to a commercial. After taking a long break, she came back and told everyone it was not a stunt. She then continued the show.
Let's get started. Our first caress.
That's just nuts. I mean, I don't know what I would do if one of you passed out. I don't know what would happen. So like, what's everybody's like feelings on this?
That's so scary.
That's scary.
Yeah,
like,
that was really
like,
terrifying.
I haven't seen that, and I'm like,
yeah. No, that was intense. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can see the life come out of her. Like she she was not
she's like
there.
trying to like save it, and then she's like, wait.
No.
Yeah.
And then she falls.
And like she tried to continue, like she's literally like just staring.
I mean, look
There's
at that.
the
I mean, she is just out of it.
Yeah, she was. You can tell the fear.
Like something
right there.
came over her, and she just couldn't even.
Oh my! That's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Especially being like she even said the next day she came in and she actually cried. She's like that was the scariest moment I've ever had on TV because she didn't know what was happening, and that's scary. Like you don't know if you're having a stroke or a heart attack. Like you don't know what's happening, and then she just dropped. But at least she continued the show. That's crazy.
Oh, no, that's
crazy.
We would have just stopped. If
I would have been like, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Yeah, we go to black, we go to commercial, and we do not come back.
And then I go home to Long Island.
And we go home and we call it, and then
we have a bagel.
And we have a bagel. I could go for a bagel, but that's besides or an egg sandwich. My producer just reminded me there's also egg sandwiches.
I love egg sandwiches.
Oh my
love
God.
those.
But Wendy Williams.
But back to Wendy. Back to the important thing. Yeah, that's just I don't. Again, like I said, I don't know what I would do. It just you could see just
she tried
the feeling of like the panic, and then like again, I don't know like what the official like medical diagnosis was, like what happened.
She said that she was overheated in the costume, and she was also dehydrated. So the studio lights on her was just too much for her.
Like heat exhaustion type thing.
It just looked so dramatic. Like I just saw the clip of it on Twitter, I think, and I was like, okay, there's no way that's like real. I thought it was like a stunt, and then I mean it wasn't, but it looked more than like overheating to me because it was very.
Yeah. It was scary.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that. We did pose the question on Twitter. Was it a stunt? Because there are people that feel that,
Halloween
she could use a
episode.
ratings bump. It's a Halloween episode. It's a coincidental thing, perhaps. Does any of us think it was a stunt? I don't think it was.
No, you can tell that she's not that good of an actor. So
yeah.
So I think that was just real.
Okay, I like how that was like a backhanded like, oh, she's not a good actor. Like, there's no way she could have done that.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, like I said, we do have the Twitter poll, so let's see. Do you think it was? We don't have it. Well, I guess we'll never know. Maybe it was a stunt.
Actually, the Twitter poll did say that it was real. Everyone thought, but it was like a 53%. It
was a close.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we may never know, honestly. All right. Well, a Hawaii judge has ordered a defendant to write more than 140 nice things about his ex-girlfriend after he violated a protection order. The judge said, quote, "For every nasty thing you said about her, you're going to say a nice thing." Second Circuit Judge Rhonda Liu told Darren Young. Young of Kaului, Hawaii, was ordered in February to stop contacting his ex, but 2 months later, he called and texted her 144 times over the span of about 3 hours. He was arrested and spent 157 days in jail, and at his sentencing on Friday, Young received time served and was placed on 2 years probation. Liu also slapped him with a $2,400 fine and 200 hours of community service before giving him the writing assignment. Okay. Like, I don't know how to feel about this.
It sounds like when you like do something wrong in class and then you go to detention, they're like, I will not do this, I will not do this.
Yeah, like the opening of like The Simpsons when Bart's like writing on the chalkboard. Like, what?
It just reminds me of like an assignment I had that like you cannot do the same exact verbs or like you can't use the same sentence and you have to write 400 of them. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. Like, first of all, I don't think I could describe 400 sentences of like how someone is nice. Like
Especially someone that you actually like. Because this is someone this is his ex.
Yeah, like, I don't know. That's a lot. But
Oh, yeah.
good job for that judge. You know, that's a pretty, that's a hard punishment.
Do creative
sentences
that are just so.
Have you seen this? The judge, I don't remember where he's from, but there's a judge that, like, he went viral because he had, like, all these, like, weird,
I saw that.
like,
I think
punishments. You know, it was, like, the one, like, the kid was there with her mother.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, well, if your mother takes you out to breakfast, you know, then we're good here. And it was like, which, by the way, I mean, that's a
Steal.
that kid just got it. The kid was like, oh, we got to go to court. Like, this is going to suck. Now she gets a free breakfast out of it.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
come on, that's awesome.
That's a good day at the office. I mean, I would love a free breakfast. If any of you want to buy me a free breakfast,
We'll get you
I'm
a bagel.
just throwing it out there.
We'll
Get
push
me
it
a
and
bagel.
get you a
Or an
bagel.
egg sandwich.
Or an egg sandwich.
I'm broke.
All right. Well, that makes all of us. All right. Finally, before we go, Halloween started early in Riverside where a man dressed as Forrest Gump was running around and stopping to take pictures with residents. I think we have the picture here. Can we get that up? There he is. Look at him. He's with the cops on the left there. And then on the right, I guess that's like a food truck. That's
Me on Halloween.
That's a commitment right there. I don't think I'd ever dress up like that. So anybody's Halloween top that guy's Halloween?
I wrote an essay.
Wow.
So I
mean,
think we pretty close.
I think that wins. I mean, it was your birthday. I don't know why you're not bringing that up. Okay.
Because I wrote an essay, so that's how I celebrated my birthday.
Everybody tweet
And
#Happy Birthday Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
He's 21.
Happy
He's
belated
21,
mulatto.
which is the most important part here, that
Yes.
you're 21.
I am now legal to do the things I already
Okay, and on that note, that'll end the show. We want to thank you so much for joining us throughout the semester. Tune in next time. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Coming up next is the Fast Break. Good night, and always remember to enjoy the Lakeside view.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
New set,
New time.
news at 9.
News Sunday through Thursday only on WTOP 10.